Tata. Okay. Welcome to KANA Academy, live test 30, zoology test 4. 2-3 minutes start பண்ணுவோம். எல்லாரும் நேம் ஓன் நேமுக்கு ரீநேம் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஒரு 2-3 minutes வெயிட் பண்ணுவோம் பிளேயர்ஸ் ஜாயின் பண்ண. பேர் எல்லாரும் ரீநேம் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. டெஸ்டோட சிலபஸ், ஸ்ட்ரக்சரல் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் அண்ட் அனிமல்ஸ் எல்லாரும் ப்ரிப்பேர்டா இருக்கீங்கன்னு நான் நம்புறேன். ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா? ஓகே, ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் क्वेश्चन போலாமா? First question. This below are 4 respiratory capacities and 4 jumbled respiratory volume. Respiratory capacity ஓட respiratory volume match பண்ணணும். ஃபிஃப்டீன் செகண்ட்ஸா இருக்கு. Option B is the correct one. Question நிதா கரெக்ட் ஆன்சர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஓகே, செகண்ட் கொஸ்டின். இன்னும் 3 பேர் ஜாயின் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுவோம். What is correct about human respiration? 90% of CO2 carried by hemoglobin as carbaminohemoglobin. Neural signals from pneumotaxic center of pose can increase duration of inspiration. Workers in grinding and stone breaking industries may suffer from lung fibrosis. Cigarette smoking leads to inflammation of bronchi. 15 seconds. 5 seconds இருக்கு, முடிய போகுது. டைம் முடிஞ்சுச்சு. தனுஷா அந்த வாட்டி கரெக்டா ஆன்சர் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின் போலாம். என்ன? ஓகே, தேர்ட் கொஸ்டின் ஆரம்பிக்கலாமா? தேர்ட் கொஸ்டின் ஆரம்பிக்க போகுது. After forceful inspiration, the amount of air that can be passing out with maximum force expiration is equal to. கேர்ஃபுல்லா கொஸ்டினை பாருங்க. இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன், ஃபோர்ஸ்ஃபுல் இன்ஸ்பிரேஷனுக்கு அப்புறம் amount of air that can be passed out with maximum force expiration. Ten seconds தான் இருக்கு. டைம் முடிய போகுது. டைம் முடிஞ்சு. செகண்ட் ஆப்ஷன் இஸ் த கரெக்ட் ஒன். எல்லாரும் கரெக்டா பதில் சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. Tia has answered the fastest. Fourth question எல்லாம் ரெடியா? 7 players ready. Approximately 70% of carbon dioxide absorbed by the blood will be transported to the lungs. As option A, as carbaminohemoglobin, as bicarbonate ion in the form of dissolved gas molecule, or by binding to RBC. 20 seconds. Ten seconds தான் இருக்கு. Time's up. The question, Nida has answered the fastest. Nida, Priya and Danusha have answered correctly. Question போலாமா? Question number 5. Name of the pulmonary disease in which alveolar surface area involved in gaseous exchange is drastically reduced due to damage in the alveolar walls. What is that disease? Emphysema, pneumonia, asthma or pleurisy? 20 seconds இருக்கு. Ten seconds. Time முடிய போகுது. Emphysema is the correct answer. Option A. The questioner Nida has answered the fastest. Nida and Danusha leaderboardல இருக்காங்க. Next question போலாம். Question number 6. Okay, question number 6 ready-யா? Okay, question number 6 start பண்ணலாம். In the graphical representation of pulmonary volumes and capacities, X denotes inspiratory reserve volume, total lung capacity, expiratory capacity, or inspiratory capacity. Figure based question. Figure தெரியுதா எல்லாருக்கும்? Ten seconds தான் இருக்கு. Inspiratory capacity, correct. The questioner again, Danusha has answered the fastest. Priya has also answered correctly. Next question போலாமா? 7th questionக்கு. 7th question start பண்ண போறோம். When you hold your breath, which of the following gas changes in blood would first lead to the urge to breathe? Failing of CO2 concentration, falling of CO2 concentration, falling of CO2 and O2 concentration, falling of O2, increase in CO2 concentration. 20 seconds. Ten seconds. Time முடிஞ்சு. Answer is increase in CO2 concentration. Nida has again answered the fastest. Danusha and Tia have also answered correctly. Leaderboardல இப்போதைக்கு Danusha தான் இருக்காங்க. Question 8 start பண்ண போறோம். எல்லாம் ரெடியா இருங்க. Lungs do not collapse between breaths, and some air always remains in the lungs, which can never be expelled because option A, there is positive intrapleural pressure. B, pressure in the lungs is higher than the atmospheric pressure. C, negative pressure in the lungs. D, there is negative intrapleural pressure pulling at the lung walls. 15 seconds தான் இருக்கு. 5 seconds. டைம் முடிஞ்சு. ஆன்சர் வந்து டி, நெகட்டிவ் இன்ட்ராப்ளூரல் ப்ரெஷர் pulling at the lung walls. இந்த கொஸ்டினுக்கு நிதா has answered the fastest. நிதா and தனுஷா மட்டும்தான் கரெக்டா பதில் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. கொஸ்டின் 9க்கு போலாமா? இன்னும் 2 கொஸ்டின் நிதா ஃபாஸ்டா பதில் சொன்னாங்கன்னா she can come to number 1. Question 9. Dissociation of oxyhemoglobin in blood increase in blood increase in blood when irreversibly. Dissociation of oxyhemoglobin in blood increase when increase in blood when irreversibly. Option A, increase in pH and decrease in CO2, decrease in temperature, increase in O2, increase in temperature, decrease in O2, decrease in pH and increase in CO2. The question ஏதோ எரர்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நெக்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டினுக்கு போவோம். Question 10. Which of the following factors are favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin in alveoli? 30 seconds. Ten seconds தான் இருக்கு. 5 seconds. Time's up. கரெக்டான ஆன்சர் வந்து ஆப்ஷன் டி, high PO2 and lesser H plus concentration. Nida and Dhanusha again கரெக்டா பதில் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. Nida has answered the fastest. 11th question போலாம். Total lung capacity is the total volume of air accommodated in the lungs at the end of a forced inspiration. Seconds. Five seconds. Option A is the correct one. The question Thea has answered the fastest. Question 12 ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். Assertion reason type question. Assertion: major part of carbon dioxide is transported in the form of sodium bicarbonate. Reason: in dissolved state in plasma of blood, 0.3 ml of carbon dioxide is transported per 100 ml of blood. 25 seconds. Fifteen seconds தான் இருக்கு. டைம் முடிய போதும். Time's up. Option B is the correct one. எல்லாரும் கரெக்டா சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. Nida has answered the fastest. Nida is almost gonna come to the first place. Question 13 ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். If under certain conditions the P50 value to hemoglobin rises to 100 mmHg, a person will die of O2 deficiency because the pigment is not loading enough oxygen in lungs, can load enough oxygen in lungs but cannot unload it in tissues, can neither load nor unload oxygen, suffers degradation and cannot function normally. 15 seconds. Five seconds. Time முடிஞ்சு. Option C is the correct one. Can neither load nor unload oxygen. Kathy has answered correctly. Kathy மட்டும்தான் correct answer பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Question 14. Recognize the given reaction. CO2 and H2, H2CO3, HCO3 minus plus H plus in presence of enzyme 2, H2CO3, which again in presence of enzyme 1 gets converted to CO2 and H2O ultimately. Above reaction catalyzed by, now enzyme 1 and 2 என்னன்னு கேட்குறாங்க. 10 seconds தான் இருக்கு. Five seconds. Enzyme 1 carbonic anhydrase, enzyme 2 carbonic, ரெண்டுமே ஒரே enzyme தான். Dhanusha has answered. Kia has answered the fastest. 15 ஆரம்பிக்கலாம். A large portion of oxygen is left unused in the human blood even after uptake by the body tissue. This oxygen, option A, is enough to keep oxyhemoglobin saturated at 96%. B, helps in releasing more oxygen to epithelial tissue. C, acts as a reserve during muscular exercise. D, raise PCO2 of blood to 75 mmHg. 15 seconds. Five seconds இருக்கு, டைம் முடிய போகுது. ஆன்சர் கீழே ஏதோ எரர்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நெக்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின் போகலாம். Question 16. Tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume of an athlete is 500 ml and 1000 ml respectively. What will be his expiratory capacity if residual volume is 1200 ml? 20 seconds. Five seconds தான் இருக்கு. Time's up. Option D, 1500 ml, the correct answer. Nida has answered the fastest. Question 17 ஆரம்பிக்கலாமா? During inspiration, the volume of thoracic cavity increases because of, option A, concentration of diaphragm and external intercostal muscles. B, relaxation of diaphragm and external intercostal muscles. C, contraction of diaphragm and relaxation of external intercostal muscles. D, relaxation of diaphragm and contraction of external intercostal muscles. 18, 17 seconds left. 5 seconds இருக்கு. Time முடிஞ்சு. Option A is the correct answer. Concentration of diaphragm and external intercostal muscles. Dhanusha has answered the fastest. Oh, Tia has answered the fastest. Dhanusha, Nida, and Tia have answered correctly. Question 18. Start பண்ணலாமா? எல்லாம் ரெடியா? The spinal cord is several where it joins the brain stem. What would be breathing? What would to breathing? What would happen to What would happen to breathing? Spinal cord is severed where it joins to brainstem. Both inspiration and expiration will cease. Severed na katayir. Nida has answered the fastest. Nida இருக்காங்க. Question 19 கெல்லாம் ரெடியா? ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா? Question 19. Respiratory process is regulated by certain specialized centers in the brain. Which of the following centers can reduce inspiratory duration upon stimulation? Twenty seconds. Time's up. Option B, pneumataxic center is the correct answer. In the question, Nida and Dhanusha have answered correctly. Okay, next question, question number 20. Polama. Which statements are correct for oxyhemoglobin dissociated curve? Oxyhemoglobin dissociated curve. 25 seconds. Ten seconds தான் இருக்கு. 5 seconds time முடிய போகுது. Option A is the correct answer. For this question, Nida has answered the fastest. Nida overtake Mantang. Danusha finally. Question 21. Statement type question. First statement. Emphysema is a chronic obstructive disease of lung causing irreversible distension and loss of elasticity of alveoli. Statement 2. Emphysema is preventable if chronic exposure to smoke like cigarette and others and pollutants is avoided. Emphysema is preventable illa irreversible. Cannot be both. Time's up. Option B is the correct one. It is an irreversible distension. It cannot be prevented. யாருமே கரெக்டா பதில் சொல்ல இந்த கொஸ்டின். நெக்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின்க்கெல்லாம் ரெடியா? Next question கொஞ்சம் ஈஸியான கொஸ்டினா இருக்கு. Under normal physiological conditions in human beings, every 100 ml of oxygenated blood can deliver how much ml of blood? Twenty seconds. Ten seconds இருக்கு. Time's up. Option D, 5 ml. Nida has answered the fastest again. Question 23. Select the correct events that occur during inspiration. Inspiration appo what? Which of these happens? Contraction of diaphragm, contraction of external intercostal muscles, pulmonary volume decrease, intrapulmonary pressure increase. 20 seconds. Five seconds இருக்கு. டைம் முடிய போகுது. Again answer கீழ ஏதோ மிஸ்டேக்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Next question போவோம். Which of the following is not possible when pneumotaxic center is sending a strong signal? Rate of breathing increases, complete filling of lungs, decreased duration of inspiration, decreased duration of expiration. 25 seconds. Five seconds தான் இருக்கு. Time's up. Option D is the correct answer. If decreased duration of expiration. எல்லாரும் filling of lungs னு போட்டிருக்கீங்க. Last question for today. எல்லாம் ரெடியா? Percentage of large number of alveoli around alveolar ducts opening into bronchioles in mammalian lungs is? Option A, inefficient system of ventilation with little residual air. Inefficient system of ventilation with high percentage of residual air. Efficient system of ventilation with no residual air. Efficient system with little residual air. 15 seconds இருக்கு. Time's up. Actually, option D தான் கரெக்டான ஆன்சர். Efficient system of ventilation with little residual air. But E ஒழுங்கா feed ஆகலன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். So anyways, this concludes today's live test. Thank you for participating. Nida is the winner. Nida and Danusha both did really well. Priya as well. Thank you.